I would go as far as to say that the federal government has lost control of these inflows.
Over the past few years, Canada's population has started growing at an unprecedented rate. In 2023 alone, Canada saw its highest population increase in 5 decades, growing by almost 5% in a single year. At the current pace, Canada is on track to grow from a population of 40 million today to 100 million in just 20 years. When we think of countries with quickly rising populations, African nations often come to mind first. But in the third quarter of 2023 alone, Canada's population grew by over 430,000, representing a shocking year-over-year growth rate of 4 to 5%. To put that in perspective, that pace exceeds the population growth rates of some of the fastest-growing countries in Africa, like South Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. An astounding 96% of Canada's growth is being fueled by immigration, especially temporary residents like international students and foreign workers on permits. With over 313,000 new non-permanent residents in Q3, Canada is on track to set international migration records yet again. This towering influx is starting to put immense stress on Canada's housing market and infrastructure. While immigration and temporary foreign workers fill important roles in the economy, this unprecedented pace of growth makes it challenging for Canada to keep up with sufficient housing construction and access to health care. With polls showing falling public support for current immigration levels, Canada's government faces tough decisions on whether to introduce new caps on temporary migration streams. With a significant percentage of new immigrants to Canada settling in the Greater Toronto Area, the region's housing prices and cost of living are already stretched thin from rapid population increases. Despite median household incomes of 84,000 Canadian dollars in Toronto, single-family home prices in Q3 2023 reached 1.25 million Canadian dollars, a towering price-to-income ratio of nearly 15x. Other major Canadian cities, such as Vancouver, boast a similar ratio. Overall, housing in Canadian cities tends to be more expensive than in comparable American cities. Chicago, for example, is a similar-sized city to Toronto, but has a median house price to median income ratio of only 5x compared to Toronto's 15x. As groups like the Century Initiative call for tripling Canada's population, affordability metrics like these highlight the need to address income housing imbalances. Otherwise, achieving economic gains from such growth risks squeezing out the very people Canada hopes to attract and retain for future growth.